What's happening, guys? I'm going to be answering a question that I've been asked over the years, and that question is, how did you start the name or come up with the name Down4Sound? Alright, so story time. Let's take you guys down a little path on how we came up with the name Down4Sound, and more importantly, why did you come up with the name Down4Sound? So let's back it up to many years ago. A lot of you may not even know there was this thing called MySpace. Before Facebook was popular, there was a thing called MySpace, and people would do basically what they do on Facebook now on MySpace. But even so, most people that were into car audio or things, they weren't posting about their things that they're in. We're going to use car audio obviously because we're talking about that. They wouldn't post about them on their MySpace pages really. They would post about them on things called forums. Forums were websites, and a lot of you may know about Steve Mead's forums, or SMD, Steve Mead Designs website. He was one of the ones that started a online forum way back in the day, and kind of did that first. But the problem, and there was a lot of other ones. There was caraudio.com, a bunch of these other forums where people would basically go and they would, what you see in Facebook car audio groups now, they were doing it on these people's websites. But the problem, say on caraudio.com, we'll use it as an example too. People would go and they would post their builds on there, or if they were new people to car audio, they would go on there and they would ask questions. And the problem that I saw was so many people were talking trash about the newcomers to car audio. So if you ask something simple like, how do you wire a dual voice coil subwoofer, a dual voice coil 2-ohm subwoofer to a 1-ohm load, there would be people that just talk trash about them and diss them because they didn't already know this. I'm like, man, these people, they're just trying to learn how to do it, and you're talking trash about them, making them feel like, why would they even want to stay there, you know? So there was so much trolling and bashing on these forums that kind of just ran rampant. And I was like, I want to come up with a place where people could go and talk or ask these simple questions and post their car audio stuff. And trolling, as what it was called back then, was not allowed, or it would not be allowed. It'd be a zero tolerance trolling policy. And when you created an account on Down4Sound, you had to check, or you had to like answer questions. I understand that there is zero trolling, and if I do this, I will be banned immediately. So there was a zero tolerance policy for trolling. But before that, I had to come up with a name on what I thought this should be. So I had a few different names. I can't even remember the other ones that I came up with, but there was a guy, some of you may know of him. He's moved on a lot from car audio, but his name is Gerald Six Dog Watkins on Facebook. But he went by Six Dogs, or Six Dog One, Six Dogs One, something like that on YouTube, and we became friends through car audio, like sharing our videos on YouTube and stuff like that. So we started talking back and forth, and I made a post on MySpace or Facebook. It was like somewhere in that transition. I made a post. I'm like, hey guys, I'm trying to come up with a name. I'm thinking about starting a forum where there's no trolling allowed. Do you think this would be a good idea? And if you do, I'm trying to come up with some names of it, and I posted some of the names, and if you have a better idea, let me know. And I want to say that Gerald reached out to me, or we brainstormed on coming up with this name of Down4Sound, and I loved it right off the bat. And I'm like, man, it's really catchy, it sounds good, it flows off the tongue well. And so I did another poll on, again, I can't remember if it was MySpace or when the transition just happened to Facebook, but I made a post about it, and I'm like, out of these three names, what do you guys think should be the name of my forum? And Down4Sound landslided the competition for the Down4Sound name. So that's how the name Down4Sound was born, and that's what we did with the name. Was started a online car audio forum where people could come and share their builds and ask questions with zero trolling allowed. Like, you couldn't talk trash about people. Everything was on the up and up. Like, we just didn't allow trolling, so a lot of people loved it. So that's how the name Down4Sound started. Some other people want to know how the business side of Down4Sound got started. If you're interested in knowing how I had this idea of starting the business Down4Sound, comment below and let me know if you want to hear that story of how I started or how I came up with the idea of I should start selling stuff on Down4Sound, because at first I just wanted to have this forum. I didn't know how to sell anything. I didn't want to sell anything. All I wanted to do was provide people with a place that they could come and share their car audio builds or ask car audio questions without the fear of being bashed or belittled because they didn't know like whatever it is they were asking about. So that was the initial plan for Down4Sound, but as you know in life, things are always changing and you never know what it's going to take you to next. So if you're interested in knowing how the business side of Down4Sound got started, comment below, and if there's a good response, we'll make a video on that. So let me know. What's happening, guys? If y'all enjoyed all the hot content that you saw in that video, be sure to follow me on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram under the Lifer Price, and also Down4Sound Shop on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget Snapchat. I'm JPD4S on there, so be sure to check me out there. We'll see you in the next one. Later.